Gates. It's kind of scary how much of my old German classes I've been starting to remember. It's just, uh, very little. I think Kugelschreiber is a pencil. I always thought, wow, that's a long ass word for pencil. But, uh, yes, it is Saturday and we are here because it is so much easier to make your employees work odd overtime hours than put on another shift, which would save a lot of trouble and a lot of time. But it's Saturday, so I'm highly shocked if anyone shows up for this broadcast. But I don't blame you. I wish I was at home right now, tucked under my comforter, still asleep, or doing the dumb thing, which I usually do on the weekends, which is play Fallout 76 till around the time I start to fall asleep, and then I turn it off. But I know, the scary part is, I was like, there's a bunch of news stuff that's been out for Fallout 4, and now it's like Fallout 4 has become so alien to me, I'm afraid to boot it up. But because there's a lot of different keys, or some keys that got changed around in Fallout 76, and also I got a lot of different weaponry, and like I said, my last character was like approaching level 300 on. They say that's the big difference between 4 and 76. Once you're over like level 200 in Fallout 4, you're pretty much, there's nothing in the game that can kill you, even if you do anything really stupid. But in 76, yeah, I've had my character had his butt kicked, and he's like level 380 something. So I got to give him that. At least, it remains challenging. You got to be, still got to be careful in the wasteland. What freaks me out is I just saw someone put up a video. I'm level 10,000. I'm like, dude, if you're level 10,000, you use the bug exploit. Because even if you played this game ever since the day it started, you're not hitting level. But okay, this is what's going to happen. Omega Files for the first episode will be next week. Because this way I know everybody's watched it. Because what happens is when we try to do these last minute, also not everybody gets a chance to watch the episode, and that's, I figure why not? We'll just do it next week. That way everybody has their chance to watch it. They've got their notes compiled, and then we can watch episode 2, and then we can watch it again, and blah blah blah. That way we don't have to worry about fiddling around with making sure everybody's seen it, and all that. And also, you don't have to sit there and there we go. That way everyone has a chance to sit down, thoroughly evaluate it, and then we'll talk about it a week later. Okay, I am starting to believe that we're facing a hiatus after Series 2. There's just too many things that are lining up to ignore. And that is, Shooty Gatwa's already accepting another thing. Or I was going to go over it. I have the article. RTD keeps dropping this stuff now in his speeches about hiatus, which he never did before this series. Now he's just saying it in little things here and there. And also the fact you've got the guy who was in charge of Doctor Unleashed a while back put up a thing saying he's looking for other work. Plus Bad Wolf is advertising for their studio. Now how short that hiatus is or how long that hiatus is, I don't know. But I'm still taking money that there's going to be a hiatus. Great. I really hate to do this, but somebody's trying to flood out the chat. I don't care what you post, but when you deliberately try a chat flood, you can... Bye. Sorry, I ain't got time for that crap. He's just lucky I don't remember which buttons to hit. There we go. Okay. I just put him on hiatus for 24 hours. Okay. I'm sorry, but when you're trying to deliberate chat flood, that's all you're up to. You're not up to anything constructive. You're just trying to shut down the video, but using a nifty trick. Yeah, it took me a minute to remember which button it is. Look, it's like, you can trash Shooty, you can do this, you can say that you make fun of me all you want, but when you're trying to deliberately flood out the chat, you're just up to no good at that point. But everything I'm reading, and I've gone back and reread quite a bit. Like I said, I think we're looking at either probably a short hiatus, because by the time they get a decision from Disney, it's going to be way too late to start filming for the next series for next year. Yeah, if it's only 1 or 2 years, I ain't that worried. Because look at this. The Last of Us is just now coming out this year. The first series went up when? Anybody remember? Because I forgot. Like 2 years ago? Stranger Things, the final series, is going to finally air this year. When was that previous series? Well, it's easier to say Shooty. If I keep trying to say not Shooty, I'll screw it really up. Shooty got what? Well, there's nothing wrong with Shooty got what. There's Shooter Jennings. Waylon Jennings' son. No. I just say Shooty because it's easier. And that was pretty much the pronunciation everybody's been using anyway. I don't think he takes it as an insult or anything. Yeah, well, I'll be watching today's episode when I get home. And then we'll be doing the review on it 1 week from today. I haven't really looked into what's going on with the future of Last of Us, because I'm usually not a video game reporter guy. The only games I keep track of really are the Fallout series, and I ain't worried about that because the only ones who seem to have put out any major DLCs lately is the fans. I know Fallout London's been a big hit. It took them years to get that sucker put together. Just from the videos I've seen of it, they did a pretty massively good job. Well, I'm going to watch it tonight, and then, like I said, I'll know what to get my take on it. It's just, I had to work today, unfortunately, and luckily, though, next week's Easter weekend. So I get 4 days off, whether they like it or not. We get Friday through Monday off for the Easter weekend. I have seen the clip of the opening with Mrs. Flood, or Miss Flood. And a lot of people are saying she's the Ronnie, but it's like the only water in the forest is the river. I don't know, but I doubt it would be a river song. And I'm really hoping it wouldn't be, because that storyline, I think, played out very well, and I think it should be left where it was. So Series 2 is upon us as of today. But like I said, I hate to like rain on everyone's parade, but just the indications of the things I've been reading and rereading it seems to me like RTD's ready to just say we're going on hiatus, whether it be short or long. Plus, there's other things that are playing into that theory. Be honest with you, I'm 50-50 on this series, but like I said, I'm not going to go crazy. I'm going to watch it. See, the biggest problem is this. There's a lot of people out there who no longer watch a show to enjoy it for themselves. They watch a show because, and then they sit there and think, oh God, the rest of the gang's not going to like it. I kind of liked it, but I don't want to say that because I want to sit at the big table with the cool kids. And I used to do that. Back when Jody first came on, I was sitting there, I watched the beginning of that series, and all of a sudden it hit me about a few episodes in. I'm like, why do I give a shit what these guys think? I'm enjoying it. Why am I not enjoying it? Because I'm too busy thinking about what someone else isn't going to like. Or what other hidden messages they're going to find in it. Exactly. I just want to sit down, watch it, evaluate it for myself. If I liked it or didn't like it, then oh well. But apparently, it's become the new big thing, though, that if you don't like something, then everyone must hate it with you. Well, I look at it this way. Yeah, I've been watching the show for over 40 years now, if I remember right. It's been about since 83. But like I said, that doesn't entitle me to anything. Doesn't say my opinion's any better than yours or anything like that. But I've seen a lot of different styles come and a lot of different styles go. And if, like I keep saying, though, if we don't like what's going on right now, chances are a new writer or new showrunner is and a new actor is going to come in sooner or later, and it'll change again. Yeah, I've never played Earthbound. I have no idea what that's. Like I said, I mainly fell in love with like Days Gone, but there's never going to be a sequel to Days Gone given the circumstances around that particular game. Around all the shit that happened around it. It's now become one of the big classics of online, but when it first came out, reviewers ate it for breakfast, and they still had a number of bugs to work out. Well, they did work them out, and the game and the storyline are fantastic, but sadly, it's never going to see a sequel. I like that they set you up at the end for a possible continuing storyline, but then you get to the end and realize, no, it's never going to happen. Exactly. Everybody has different eras they like or dislike depending on their taste. And, I'm not going to sit here and become like, the drunkard and the nardy and start dictating to people what's good and what's not. I say I tried doing that a long time ago, but then I sat there and thought, hell, who am I to do that? Unfortunately, these imbeciles are getting airtime on national TV and international TV, and for what? Being a-holes. Oh, I know. There's a lot of older games I play that have to run through an emulator on my system that I ended up getting back through Steam. If you ever played the original XCOM and XCOM 2, I still play those games every now and then because it's a fantastic strategy style game, and it's really difficult. I still love also known as Enemy UFO Enemy Unknown, and of course there was XCOM 2, which was Terror from the Deep. So I still love those. I still have them on my system. I have to slow them down, though, because the system I'm running so damn fast. Luckily, they got a game speed thing you can set. Well, folks, I got to get running inside. Sadly, I'm going to be here 9 hours today because it's Saturday. And they can't let us have an hour, go early, like, to go home on a Saturday. Hell, they got people volunteering to come in tomorrow. And I'm like, sorry. Both my brother, my father, I was in Naval Sea Cadets, and we all learned one thing, what the true meaning of Navy is. Never again volunteer yourself. So, take care, everyone. Be kind, be calm, be safe. Enjoy the rest of your weekends. And I hope you're enjoying the episode for Doctor Who Series 2 that just came on today. Have a good one, everyone.